So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology. The other day we covered the iPhone 8 on iOS 16. Today we're going to cover the Apple A12 Bionic here with the iPhone XR, one of the most popular phones of 2018. So let's go ahead and boot this baby up in 3, 2, 1 and see how fast this does turn on. Now keep in mind the iPhone XR does have the 3 GB of RAM, so it's not quite the 4 you're gonna find on something like the iPhone XS Max or something like that. So do keep that in mind, a little bit less than the Max versions of the phone. Now I did find in my usage so far that it's looking a little bit better than the iPhone 8 as you would expect, but still a little bit buggy. We're going to showcase that here in this video, and you can see the boot up not incredibly quick but not incredibly slow either. Not a horrible performance, at least on the boot up. You can see we're on iOS 16 here with the new lock screen customizations and stuff like that. So let's see how the initial Face ID performance looks. You can see pretty good. You can also see that you can tap these icons here, these widgets on the lock screen, and a little bit of delay there, but you know, again, we're still in the first beta here, so stuff like that will happen. Definitely there is bugs, don't get me wrong, there it goes finally, but overall, just kind of swiping through the home screen definitely still feels smooth. It still feels what you would expect from an iPhone XR. The gestures I found are still pretty smooth as well, even on this initial beta right here. So very good in that respect also. So what I'm seeing here already, just kind of scrolling through the iPhone XR on my initial performance check, is that as time goes on, I think the XR is going to perform like butter once again as they get to the future updates and they kind of iron out the kinks here in iOS 16. Let's go ahead and take a look at this version just to confirm. We are on iOS 16. You can see right here checking for updates, can't get to the next one. There might be a beta 2 today. We'll have to see later on today. We might actually see a new beta, but overall I'm gonna say just generally swiping through the OS, going through the control center, haptics look pretty good, pretty snappy. It's looking promising so far, just kind of looking through the iPhone XR. It just feels a little bit slower than usual. And take a look at this battery as we go throughout the video. We started around 90, 89, so take a look as we go throughout this video how it does there. But overall not bad, not too warm just yet. Haven't opened no apps, but generally speaking iOS looks pretty promising here for the iPhone XR. Just gonna need a few updates to iron out some kinks on this one. Okay, so let's head into the lock screen wallpapers and kind of try to add those, see how that area performs on here right now, because that's the first thing most people are gonna do. They're gonna go check out these new lock screens. Let's go ahead and add new wallpaper, kind of see how they perform. Do they load up properly? Do we get any delays here when swiping through the new fonts, things like that? And it looks like it performs just fine. If we go back down here to add widgets, some of these sometimes take a little bit of time to load, but overall it's not looking bad at all. So again, like I say, feeling better than what I've seen with the iPhone 8 for sure. So A11 Bionic chip users are gonna have the worst performance on iOS 16, it looks like at this point. I'll have to revisit the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus when official comes, but so far liking how the XR looks here. You can see the new colors down here. If we add stuff down here, looking pretty good. So not a big issue whatsoever here within these new lock screens. So if you want to try this out, should be fine there. All right, so let's check out app library, see if we have any delays there. Swiping through, because sometimes this will get laggy in certain betas. Also the new search here, where they kind of, you swipe like that and it comes to the bottom. You could see the search right there. In addition, if we swipe over to the left here, you'll see this is pretty good as well. So let's go ahead and try to add a widget to the home screen, see if we get some chop on that. And I'm gonna scroll here to the clock, add the widget. No issues with the loads there. Let's go ahead and edit the widget. You can see we're just fine here on the editing as well. Not bad there either. And let's go like this, going through just fine. In addition, swiping through like so, not bad. You can see it's not locking up, it's not lagging up. So overall, adding, you know, widgets, app library, the, you know, tray over here for your widgets on the left, also very good. So generally overall those areas of the phone work pretty well as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out some applications and we're going to take a look at these apps here. We're going to go through them, kind of see how the iPhone XR does respond. And I gotta say, it doesn't actually feel drastically different from iOS 15.5 on here. iPhone XR is getting a little bit older, but it seems like maybe that A12 Bionic and the extra RAM over the iPhone 8 is making the difference here. So I might have to do the 8 Plus. Well, actually a few people already wanted to see the 8 Plus, so to see if that 3 gigs of RAM makes a difference on that A11 Bionic chip. But you can see here, app performance pretty good. As a matter of fact, this doesn't feel very different from the iPhone 12 Pro Max that I tried out, and that has an Apple A14 Bionic. So this is feeling pretty good. No lags here on editing either on iMovie, so pretty good there. You can also see the gesture performance is not horrible either. So I'd say by public beta, if you want to download this on the XR, as long as you do a backup, it's going to run quite well. For sure. This is just the initial developer beta 1. I can only imagine it'll be ready for sure for at least trying it out on public beta 1. So you could see right here, they might even be on a different one, but you could see TikTok working fine. We'll go to Geekbench 5, pretty good. You can see the battery is draining a little bit fast. We're already down like 3% in just a few minutes here. So that's the area when it comes to betas you're gonna wanna watch out for, is the battery drain. So let's go back through the application, see if we do get any problems here on the reloads. Man, this is pretty good. Like, we're not even trying out the iPhone 12, and look at this thing, just performing like a champ on this beta. So very nice here for the iPhone XR. The stability is good. Getting a little warm here up at the top, just like the 8, but not as hot as that phone. A little bit better as well. So what I'm gonna do now is kind of just open up the camera, because the camera is definitely an area, we'll bring in the tiny Lambo toy. The camera is definitely an area where sometimes in betas, they'll lock up, they'll lag up, it's annoying. So let's see how that does. Shutter speed, no issues there. And again, you know, you still might see bugs. Even though you're seeing me show this not giving a big issue, you may still see bugs, because the bugs sometimes don't appear until you really don't want them to. For example, you'll be going about your day and you can see right there, that was kind of slow, but it'll just kind of happen randomly. So bugs are kind of hard to replicate on video. But overall, I'm not gonna say anything bad so far about this XR. It's doing quite well. All right, and our final Geekbench score is in here, Geekbench 5. You can see 1013 on the single, 2245 on the multi-core. Taking a look at the differences, it's not drastic from the average XR, which would tell you that just on basic performance, it's not too much different from the iPhone with the iOS 15.5. Over here on the multi-core, it's a little bit better, so that's kind of shocking. So overall, like I said, I'm a little bit surprised with how well the iPhone XR is performing here, but also at the same time, not really. It's always been a good performer with the A12 Bionic and 3 gigs of RAM. Overall though, I gotta say, in final conclusion, it's looking promising for you guys with iPhone XR. So I wouldn't be worried at all about how the iPhone XR is gonna perform going forward on iOS 16. There might be some new bugs introduced, obviously, with the next betas, but for public beta, if you want to try it out, just make sure you do some backups. It should be okay. If you have an issue with battery life though, you know, draining too fast, then you might want to skip this till the fall. But overall, I gotta say that the battery life drained, we did this video in about 30 minutes, just kind of the shooting part, so you can see that it went down, you know, only like 7%. So that's not horrible, but not amazing either. So if you want better battery life, wait till the fall. Overall, I say I'm gonna give it about a 9 out of 10. Actually, that's a little high. Let me give it an 8 out of 10. Pretty decent so far. Let me know your thoughts on the iPhone XR down below. Do you have one? Did you try out iOS 16? And what other phones do you want to see going forward on the iOS 16 How Does It Run series? Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.